me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop! Stop stalking me, please. I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved.
Just talk.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice. See you. Please stop.
Okay, do you see how this says? Did he really just say, I don't care what you want, I'm going to rape you anyway, I'm going to force myself on you anyway, and too bad if you don't like it. And then she's telling people, thanks, I'm okay, people were glad she's okay, because this conduct is illegal. It is a felony to stalk. It is, feels like rape. We get to define how you make us feel. This is Cynthia Ortiz. It is May 30th, 2023. These are the Charles Perry Stalker Podcast. For Mr. Perry, it's a lot worse than that. He sold me to a realtor in Houston, who I guess has set a timer to, well, you know, Charles pesters her and takes her money, and then they find out everything we're trying to do to coerce her into being trafficked. I did find out I was trafficked. Mr. Perry took half the money up front, and he's trying to deliver to get the other half. And he's using economic coercion. And everybody's pissed off. He's come up here to Oklahoma where nobody invited him and done nothing but make very big problems, catastrophic loss. And people hate his guts. Him and David Robertson and Lucius and Calvin hated. You're fucking hated. So we find out what you just said. Who's Oscar? We got this new name today. We've got a couple over the last couple of days. Oscar Nisbet. Who's Nisbet? Who's Betancourt? I guess somebody asked today, how does she know Betancourt? I don't know Betancourt. His name has come up in police recordings. I have police from somewhere else helping me. They have from, well, I've already gotten into that. I'm not going to do it again. You're antagonizing, you're provoking, you're instigating, and everybody's tired of it. The guys told me to tell you in March 2020, you are not to invade her privacy anymore. You don't contact her or her family ever again. Not in any way, shape, or form. Not directly or indirectly. Leave them alone. Her and her family. Don't contact them again. She's not to be broke even one more day. And you didn't listen. And the more you contact me, the more we get. The more you contact me, the more we get. The more I found out I was trafficked. And the dumbass says, well, she could have been selling real estate for me. Listen, I'm going to tell you fucking for the last damn time. I'm not going to be sold. I said no. It is illegal to sell people. I'm not your slave. You guys are all delusional. As much as we quote you, as much as little bullshit you try to pull to make me be trafficked, and then you get caught. All the troublemaking that you do, you get caught planning it. What day is he going to arrest you? I mean, you really think they're not about done? They've done this for 10 years. You have leaks. Those leaks aren't even slipping up. That's how much you're hated. Is that your leaks have not even slipped up. I don't slip up. They don't slip up. You're very fucking hated. You're very cruel. The more cruel you get, the more we get. So we got Betancourt, and somebody said, well, what is, how does she know him? I don't know him. His name comes up in police recordings. He may have been talking, and I didn't know that's who was talking. I'm not told that. There's a lot I'm not told, and that's strategic. It's done very methodically. It's done intentionally. I'm not told who the leaks are. I'm not told who's informing. I don't care. I'm just glad to have the information. So the idiot says, well, she could have been selling real estate. Let me tell you something, you dumb son of a bitch. What he planned was to have me false arrested again at the club. Jerk her off the stage so Sadie can see it. Because we think Sadie might be leaking. Sadie's one of your victims, isn't she? She's a victim, isn't she? She doesn't have to be. That's her choice right now. Because right now we've opened a door for her not to be a victim. Before I met her, that was not the case. Now I've met her, everything's changed. She's not a victim now. She can walk out the door anytime she wants. Okay? It's not up to you. I got Betancourt's name, we got Oscar's name. You said Renee. Is Renee leaking? Who the fuck is Renee? So, I mean, we got your people's names. Calvin, who's bald and fat. Sonjay, Lucius, Geppetto, your witch. Because you guys, I showed the video I had at school. I'm in criminal justice college, my 4th year. They showed a video on human trafficking. Part of the practice of human traffickers, they actually fucking stoop to hiring a witch to cast spells on the victims so they can control them. That is how bad. Geppetto is going to jail. It's called witness tampering and coercion, Geppetto. You're in your little seances. I get that you guys think that you've got freedom of religion and that excludes you from a criminal charge, and you're wrong. And if I have your name, and it wasn't up to Charles and Dave and all those guys that I got your name, you don't know how I got your name. You don't know who got it from them to me. You're in some trouble. Are you not, Geppetto? You can't go in and say, I have the freedom of religion, because religion is limited to the worship of a god. Satan is the opposite of God. You can try that. My guess is it's not going to work. You don't get to use it to hurt people. And that's all you do. So if you're willing to risk your future for a little sex weirdo bitch who can't control herself and can't figure out if she likes men or women, or if she's a man or a woman, or what the fuck, you know, do it. Do whatever you want to do. The thing, Perry, is you can be gay, you can be trans. No one cares. Look, it's a free country. Do that. But you don't get to use that as an excuse for crime causation, and you are. And you're in a lot of trouble. And you act like you can't even fucking understand what people say. We found out you have Huntington's disease because you pestered and caused problems and pestered and caused problems, and I'm broke and you're taking my money, and it's called economic duress, economic coercion, and you're fucked. Okay? I got those names because you're fucked. You messed with the wrong one. This one, you messed with the wrong one. Sadie, you want out, you're out. Go. Do what you want to do. You don't have to suck anybody's dick if you don't want to. All right. So I find out he has Huntington's disease. I find out about Bencor. I find out you're going to jerk me off the stage so she can see it because you think she's leaking. And then take me to my family where you're going to have a wedding shoot, a wedding photo shoot. Right? Because you lied to them and said, oh, this is about romance. And we got somebody saying her family started kind of questioning things that Mr. Perry was telling them because they saw her with Saeed for 4 years. First of all, Saeed did not go to their house by himself. He was always with her. They were inseparable. She moved twice. She moved, twice to get away from Charles. But with Saeed, it was different. She moved to Vegas to be with him. To be with him in the same town. And we were inseparable. We had a business together, and we both had separate homes, but we were always, either I spent the night at his house, or he spent the night at mine. Pretty much every night. Not every night, but pretty much every night. For 4 years. So, they saw that. He didn't come, he didn't call them, he didn't pester them, he didn't go bother them, he didn't try to ruin my life. He tried his best to make sure I had a really good life. That man made sure I didn't miss a meal. You're trying to starve me until I lie. You don't want to date, you want the lie. I don't date men unless they make sure I don't miss a meal. I don't date men that can't respect my boundaries and that call my family and harass and threaten my family. I don't date cop killers. I don't date serial killers. What happened when you met me is all of a sudden everything changed. You started getting caught every fucking day. Last night, all day yesterday, and all last night. Can we get a car from her? Can you take her car away? Please take her car away. Please take... Whiny, 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 whiny. Somebody wanted to slap the fuck out of you. Will you shut up with the car? Can somebody make that bitch shut up about the car? Whiny, whiny, I can't hear one more minute of it. Make the bitch shut up about the fucking car. Right? Didn't somebody say back in March 2020, right around that time, there's about 4 pretty significant things that happened. I'm going to get a hitman, fake up a medical emergency at her work. She'll go help. Then we'll tell her the guy that she helped has a virus. You need a shot or you'll get it too. And your hitman said, what do I do if she won't take the shot? By the way, in that shot was like strychnine or something that would kill me dead. Okay, so you've already tried to kill me about 3-4 times now. Do you understand? And The guys helping me, Charles, they're the only people that matter. No one else, and whatever they think and whatever they, whatever, they come up with it, their theory or their belief or whatever, it doesn't matter. We got a lot of recordings that will prove our case very much beyond a reasonable doubt, without much trouble, without much problem. You're the gift that keeps giving. So the guy says, what do I do if she won't take the shot? And you said, you make sure she takes the shot. You tell her she'll die if she doesn't. We're going to tell her family it was just an unfortunate allergic reaction from some safety measures given to her after she helped a man who had a virus. They'll be fine with that. Do you really think my family would have been fine with that? We don't even know what to say to that. They would not have been fine with that, dumb fuck. So what he was going to do is because he forged a marriage license back in 2019, and people started going, I don't think she consented. Where's the wedding photos? It looks like you signed that. You forged a document. You forged her name. That's a crime. You can't do that. It's illegal. And so he now, 4 years later, Lucky asked me about it. Did you sign a marriage license? Why would I do that, Lucky? I moved twice, not once, twice, completely changed careers to get away from that prick. So no, I did not sign a marriage license. He's not even had a date with me, not even that. And he goes, oh, I thought it did not look like your signature, but I had to check with you first to make sure. Is that why you murdered him? Is that why you murdered him? If you didn't murder him, get Michael Neely home to his family. What do you care? What do you care if he goes home? If you didn't have anything to do with it. Don't you back the blue? Huh? Do you not back the blue? Do you not support the police? Anybody can look at him and see he couldn't have done that murder. There's no way. He was also drugged. Did you drug him? If you didn't do it, get him home. Because we think you did. So anyways, you killed the cop. I tried to kill 2 of them. And when he didn't die, that you did the same thing to him that you did to me. Doing illegal detainment. Mr. Powell, I swear to God, if I hear you say one more time she wasn't illegally detained, you don't understand the holy hell that will be unleashed on you. That is a lie from the pit of hell. And you know it. You and Charles, both. People are sick of getting lied to. You're insulting their intelligence. They're smarter than you. Don't lie to people smarter than you. They'll know that you're lying. And for y'all, that's pretty much everybody. Okay? People are sick of being lied to. Sick of it. Very, 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 very sick of it. So, do the wedding shoot. Make her sign your lie affidavit. And then whisk her off to Houston. Collect the other half. Then she's dead. We don't want her popping up later to say that we made her sign that lie. I've already talked about your affidavit and your letter of apology over and over and over. You act like you're not caught yet. Dude, you're fucked. You're caught. So you're caught on the trafficking too. I don't want to do real estate. I don't want to go to Houston. I don't like anybody who has to buy a woman or who participate in the nasty shit you guys have done. There's no way. You don't fit into my crowd. I won't have a thing to do with you. Nothing. Okay? I'm nothing like you guys. I want nothing to do with y'all. And you know that. You absolutely know that. So, what do you think I would be selling real estate? I'd be 6 feet under. And you're stupid if you couldn't figure that out by now. They'll have me sign the paper. They'll get the wedding picture so they can say, no, that wasn't a forgery. And then there'll be some unfortunate bathtub floating situation, won't there? Or a cruise for a honeymoon, and just some unfortunate she went overboard situation. And we all know that. I'm not stupid. Our guys know that. Why don't y'all? Why don't y'all? And if we already know what you were trying to do, does Sheriff Reed know that? We know that. Sheriff Reed better know what I know. He better make sure he knows what I know. That's all I'm going to say. In Walton. Both of them. Because that club, I guess, is right on the county line, so it kind of both clubs have jurisdiction a little bit. So what I'm going to say, Sheriff Walton and Sheriff Reed, is, with all due respect, make sure you know what I know. Because if you don't, it will bite your ass later. That typically happens if you're ignorant on facts. then something comes out later and you're like, oh shit, I wish I'd have known that. I wish I'd have known that. Yeah, make sure you know it before you ever meet me, before you ever introduce yourself to me, or if you're asked to handcuff me, absolutely make sure you know that. Now, figure it out. Look through the documents. Look on the court records. There's lots of ways to do your job. I mean, I know it. I knew Mike was drugged before anybody else said it. Wasn't on the docket yet. They hadn't even taken depositions. The lawyers didn't even know, but we knew. So how is that, Charles? Why is that, Charles? So somebody said today, how does she know Bittencourt? I don't know Bittencourt. Never met him that I know of. His name keeps coming up in conversations that's recorded and given to police. Or they're recording. I don't know how it works. I don't care. I really don't. And it wasn't up to Charles Perry. And it wasn't up to David Robertson. And it wasn't up to Lucius. And it wasn't up to Bald Fat Calvin. Who's Desiree and Blankenship? Charles, who are those people? I've never met them that I know of. I've met a guy named Al. You keep asking, is Al a leak? Is Jim a leak? David's attorney Jim? Or what Jim, sir? I know about 5 Jims. So which one are you talking about? Even your leaks are not slipping up, are they? No. You know why? Because everybody's sick of you. The commitment and the dedication to making you be gone is it's at fever pitch right now. Because everybody's sick of y'all and your drama and the problems. And now we got to drop everything we're doing in our very busy lives and handle the situation that you caused. We got to handle some problem that you caused. Nobody invited you here, princess. Nobody invited you here. Sitting there, old shriveled up Charles with his doll all by himself, rejected and told on and alone, pretending. You know what? My granddaughter, who's like 6, 7 months old now, watches TV, holds her little doll, and bangs on things. It doesn't... You want to be governor? I'm sorry, but you got to do more than that. You are not functional. You're not functional, sir. You need a nurse. I can see you didn't get one, because we've already talked about the age discrimination lie that you perpetrated. We've already talked about it, and it came up again today. So now I got to drop everything I'm doing and talk about it again. You're caught on the trafficking. You're caught on the coercion. Today we hear you say, get her to the mall. DoorDash. Use DoorDash to get her to the mall so we can take her car. So I don't take mall orders, do I? No. I'm going to show you something. Look what they did. Alright, so see how this says busy? Well, it's really not. I got a lot of upside down orders. Every time you hacked my phone. You wanted me to go to the mall so you could get my car. So initially when I logged on, the only thing busy was down South Tulsa. Well, I just, I send that to my attorney, screenshot it, send it to my attorney, and I don't think about it again. I'm not going down to South Tulsa and go to the mall so you can take my car. Nobody in the right mind would do that. But the thing is, you guys act like nobody suspects a thing. That you're hacking the DoorDash, you're using it unlawfully, you're using my phone unlawfully, and to coax me to a certain location or whatever, so you can get your doorbell guy. Okay, so when it's only the only place available to work is South Tulsa, it says it's busy. I sat for 30 minutes and didn't get even one order, nothing. And then whatever I did get was upside down. You can't make any money on that. So I think I made about $10 tonight. But that's typical. These guys are freeloaders. They use my body to make a profit and rake it in. And we get to make canned food. So every time, it's fine. Your money, though, that you're spending to do that to me, sir, is going to buy us intel. Now we have Bittencourt's name. We got Oscar's name. Okay? Nisbet. 3 names this week because you're taking my money and you won't get the fuck out of my life. You're invading my privacy and you're contacting me. He said her privacy is not to be invaded. You don't contact her or her family at all. Leave them alone. And you get your hands out of her wallet. She's not to be broke anymore. You do it or we'll do it. Okay? You take care of it or we'll do it for you. Period. That's the way it is. Those are your choices. And it's not up to you. We coach you every damn day. I got those 3 names, Bettencourt, Oscar, and we got So and Jay's name. We got Beverly, Kate, James, Ruben, Andrew, Lawrence, Dickie, Richard, Blankenship, Desiree, Geppetto, your witch. I knew I was trafficked. I found out I was trafficked before you did it. Or the guys, oh, she could have been selling real estate. No, they're going to kill me. If you don't know that, you're not smart. You're going to give them the money, and then they're going to kill me. I'll make it a week, maybe, if that. They're not going to have me sign a lie and then let me live to pop out somewhere down the road and go, oh, he made me sign that. Surely you're not that stupid. I mean, I don't think you're smart, but surely you're not that stupid. You're about to get jammed up pretty good. So all the money that you spend trying to fuck with me buys us intel. It always has. You don't have a date. You have no chance of a date. You're sitting in your little rocking chair, old and shriveled up, rejected and alone, holding your doll. It doesn't get any more pathetic than you. And told on 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 and told on. It's not up to you, is it? Nope. Nobody calls you and goes, do you mind if we get this intel from you and give it to her? Does anybody do that? No, they don't. Because no one cares what you think. Okay, what I think. Okay? So we got, all these, every time you do that, Calvin. We look at the doorbell cameras. Yeah. Always a doorbell camera. See, not everybody has a doorbell camera. But, you got to take it into court and go, see, we have pictures of her just working, doing normal things normal people do. We're not stalking her. Yeah, that's what that is, dumb fuck. So we got all these, fucking, I sat there and filmed it. I didn't even film the whole thing. I waited literally half an hour and had not one order. Get your fucking hands out of my fucking wallet, or don't complain when we get Sanjay's name. Okay? Or Bittencourt's name. Or Oscar's name. Or Nesbitt's name. Or Beverly's name. You asked for it. I've never met Bald Fat Calvin. The only reason I know he's bald and fat is somebody was talking about him. That guy Calvin is an asshole. He's bald and fat and he's a dick and we don't like him, blah, blah, blah. Somebody didn't like him. I don't like him either. Alright, this is the Perry and David Robertson. This is their file. They have access to this file. So today we find out about that age. Just look at this. When you contact me, when you invade my privacy, when you cause a problem or loss for me, the longer I'm broke, the longer Michael Neely's in jail, the more we get. Bencore, Oscar, Nesbitt, get her to the mall so we can take your car. When you were setting up DoorDash orders, we heard you. Okay, because you hacked my door, you got illegal access to my DoorDash account and to my phone. You will get out of it, or the guys will get you out of it. They'll do it for you. Do you hear me? Wasn't up to you that we heard that, but we heard that. When you caused me to lose money, when you caused me to lose my privacy, when you take my relationships, when you try to take my shit and cause a problem, we get more. Any of the victim can say that? Huh? Because you do this to a lot of people. Anybody else that you know in your whole lives, say that? Name one person that can say that. How many times were you caught before you did it to me? How many after? Ask Sanjay to help you count, Charles, because we know you can't count anymore. Huntington's disease. We found that out because you pissed everybody off, making me broke and pestering. Okay. Huntington's disease, by the way, he tells people he has Tourette's. That's bullshit. He has Huntington's disease. It causes delusion, hallucinations, paranoia, psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. So when we do the cause and effect, when you fuck with me, you get caught. Nothing else has happened in a decade. Just you get caught. You're all by yourself, all shriveled up and alone, and told on with your doll. All pathetic, rejected, fail. When you contact me, we get more. When you contact me, we get more. When you take my money, we get more. When you take me my money, when you cause me a loss, we get more and more and more. The more cruel you get, the more we get. Was there supposed to be a computer scientist testify before the grand jury today to do the false charges you're trying to do? Is that true? Is that information correct or not? When you contact me, you invade my privacy, you cause me a problem, we get more. It's not up to you. Ever. It's never up to you. What did the doll save you, Charles? When we found all that out? Her just setting up my DoorDash orders? Huh? Where's the doll then? Geppetto, where's your seance? Do your wiki and make everybody go be normal. How about that? Maybe things will go better for you. When Charles pesters her or takes her money, things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've not seen before, your guy said. I don't know who these guys are helping her, but I have a feeling right now they're just flicking at us. I don't want to be anywhere near Charles Perry when it stands up and crushes us, because I feel like that's what's going to happen. That's what the guy said, your guy. Did he leave? Did he quit? I mean, I don't know. So, we heard about the age discrimination conversation again. Cynthia Ortiz, personally did not file a age discrimination complaint against my boss. Charles Perry has forged a marriage license. I didn't sign that either. It's possible he filled one out and sent it in. If my boss has a problem, he can get in touch with me and say, I got a complaint here with the EEOC, and I will tell him I'll sign an affidavit that says that's identity theft. I didn't do it. I don't think I've said it. I maybe said it sometime. It's been a while. In being snarky or something, or just sarcastic, but I didn't give it a second thought, even to the extent that I forgot I said it. I couldn't believe it came up on a police recording. I was like, oh my God, wow. What we've said is that Charles is causing the problems for me at work. Charles, the stalker, who shouldn't be in Oklahoma at all, or nowhere care where I would. Jason Moore doesn't know. Steve Massengale doesn't know. Dan Pope doesn't know. They don't know where I work. They don't give a fuck. They're not stalking me. So, you know where I work, you know when I work, and you're in there causing problems, aren't you? And if not you, your proxy. Right? Okay. He can't figure out why can't I get a date? Why doesn't she like me? Creepy, cruel little bitch. Can't figure out why he can't get a date, and why I don't like him. It's not hard. The guy said, okay, so we got the death by shot, murder by shot, and they wanted me to take it. Tell her she'll die if she doesn't take it, so that I would cooperate with fucking being murdered with a shot, giving me a shot with some kind of poison. Strychnine or some such. Was it strychnine or was it that other succinylcholine or whatever it is? It makes you paralyzed. It's what they give you when they're gonna intubate you, and it completely paralyzes you, and you know what's going on, but you basically suffocate if they don't intubate you. Is that what you're gonna do? That's how what's her name died? Kathy Augustine in Nevada. Her husband was a nurse. That's how he killed her. He murdered her. He's in jail now. Is that what you were going to do? Was it going to be succinylcholine or whatever it is? And, or was it strychnine? Huh? So you wanted me to voluntarily take the shot. Only we found out before. Not after. Any other victim can say that, Charles? And it wasn't up to you, was it? Nope. The guy goes, I have a girlfriend. She's sitting right here next to me. And Charles Perry, that is not his girlfriend. There's something else going on. Do you remember that's not the first person that said something else is going on here? It's not about a date. And so what the hell is it? Because I don't call my girlfriend's family or friends at all. But if I did, it would be to find out what does she want for her birthday or for Christmas. Not get information off of her car so I can take it away from her. Yeah, see, everybody's onto her family starts figuring out something's up. When 9 years later, they've never come together, she won't have a fucking thing to do with them. He comes over and he won't leave, and he's bothered us. And she's never with him, and he wants to always make sure she doesn't find out I'm here. I want to come over to your house when she's not. We're together. I want to come over to your house when she doesn't know and she's not there, and don't tell her. And now he's keeping me away from my family. So that went, oh my God, outrage, Mr. Perry, at that. Outrage. I thought she went to Oklahoma to be with her family. So why is he keeping them apart? Why is he keeping her from her family? What business is it of his? Who her family is? Why is he even in Oklahoma and not with his family? Why is he in Oklahoma and not with his own family? Why is he bothering her and her family? Explain that, Charles. Aren't you going in to talk to a grand jury? Tell the grand jury why we don't see Steve Massengale up here doing that, acting like you. We don't see John Steinmetz up here acting like you. We don't see Jason Moore up here acting like that. Why are you? You shouldn't know who my family is. I didn't introduce you to my family. I would have never let you be around my family. And you know that. That's why you told them, don't tell her I was here. Right? Well, our family saw her with Saeed. They were always together. So they thought it was a little strange that Mr. Perry, he's coming over, but he wants to make sure she's not there when he comes over and that she doesn't know he's been there. And they never come together. So they're kind of going, well, that's weird. That's a little odd. 9 years of that. I've been in Oklahoma 9 years. 9 fucking years. The guy's in a pretend love life all by himself. Right? How embarrassing. How fucking embarrassing for you. But it's not really about that. It's about trafficking. He sold me. He sold me to a Houston realtor, and the Houston realtor's whining and complaining. She could have been selling real estate. I don't want to sell real estate. I don't want to meet you. I don't want anything to do with you. They're going to take your money and kill me anyway. And you need to figure that out sooner rather than later. You're wasting a lot of time. Mr. Perry, when you contact me like you are right now, we get more. We find out more. You never get what you want. We always get what we want. When he pesters her and takes her money, things don't go well for us. She catches us before we do it. Every day. Who's Betancourt? Who's Sonjay? Don't contact me. Bitch, get the fuck away from me. Stay away from me. Why can't you control yourself? Huh? Why can't you just fucking go be normal? Like everybody else. Why do you have to be a weirdo and embarrass me and everybody else? You embarrassed everybody. You're embarrassing your kids. You're embarrassing your wife, Jacqueline. You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing my family. You're embarrassing everybody. You're a weirdo. Why can't you just not be weirdo? Go be normal. Go be with your family. Go home to your family. And you come up here and you lie and you say you're being harassed. Lately we've heard Mr. Powell. Did we not get her served? Did we not get her served? Did we not? With what? I'd be really careful. Because here's the thing. I don't know what's going on, but the guys told me, you're not to touch that. They did something in court. It's fraud. It's perjury. You let us deal with it. How many charges is it going to get y'all with perjury and fraud? How many charges do you think there'll be? Only you know how many lies you've told under oath. So you tell us, how many are there going to be? They're dealing with it. I don't have to deal with it. There's like a stack of them, he said. Because there's my 3 lawsuits, and now I guess whatever you guys got. And then Judy's court and Kirkendall's court. So how much perjury, Hanson's court? How much perjury and fraud charges are you going to get, Charles? I mean, you tell us. Can you still count how many times you lied in a courtroom? Under oath? Can you, Matt? Yeah, I don't know. In your aging disease, I think it makes it where you can't count anymore. So, they wanted to get me to the mall today to get my car. We heard them talking about it. And this age discrimination bullshit, I haven't filed a thing. Not filed a thing. The other thing that happened, I guess that came up is I said something about that the bar was short with Amanda, and the boss comes in and says, you guys got to pay the difference, the shortage just between the 3 of you, whoever was behind the bar. And I was like, no, I don't think so. In fact, that's illegal. You can't collect a debt that the person doesn't owe. And you've seen the video now that the DJ didn't do it and I didn't do it. We were only back there about twice all night, so that was pretty easy to rule us out. And he acted like he didn't know. So, I wasn't trying to get him in trouble. He acted like he didn't know. I don't know how many times he's had people pay back the bar that was short. That's not my problem, and right now it doesn't even matter. No one cares. Here's the thing is that he acted like when I said that he didn't know. There was not a fight then. There was nothing. You just like, oh, okay. He just acted like he didn't know. Sadie goes running around screaming. She said she's going to call the cops. She's going to call the cops. Oh my God, here we go again with the Sadie drama. And I'm like, oh, Sadie, did I say that I was going to call the cops? No, I did not. That's like a civil thing, dumbass. But here's the thing. I guess, like, it could be FBI if you're dumb enough to do that up to $100,000. Well, surely you know nobody here's dumb enough to do that up to $100,000. So the FBI is not going to come in here. It's not that kind of a thing. It's like a civil matter. And chill. Stop saying things. I mean, nobody said I'm going to call the cops, did they? Stop making up drama. You, David Trump, man, you guys are this. Did she do that because she did that, or did she do that because you told her to? How much Sadie drama is your drama? We don't know. I'd like to see Sadie without the influence of you, because we know your drama. You make a problem when there's not one any chance you can get in a state where you don't live, and you're very hated. And so we can get what you just said. How much money have you spent giving us intel? All this stuff right here that I'm addressing because I know I need to address it, and I knew you told Amanda to lie about money coming out of the drawer. Take the money when she sets it up. We'll say she stole it. We'll just lie. So I quit opening the bag. I completely changed my habit. How much money is your money? How much money are you spending that what the result of that is as buying us intel? Princess, is your doll saving you then? Your little dolly. Oh my God. You guys wear matching dresses, you and your doll? Huh? Do you feel pretty? If you want to trans over. But don't bother me with that, with your, don't make it crime causation. Don't make it crime causation. Don't force it on me. Go to Lubbock with your family and get out of Oklahoma where you don't live and nobody invited you to come. You get told on and told on and told on when you do the crime to me. You're all by yourself. You're all alone. You got a make-believe world. Everybody thinks it's ridiculous. You're making an ass of yourself. Huntington's disease. Cause and effect. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. And since he's got Huntington's disease, he doesn't understand even what I just fucking said. Has no idea. You can always tell by Mr. Perry's reactions, he has no fucking idea what you just said. It's just not clicking. Huntington's disease. No, impaired cognitive reasoning. I don't know what David's deal is. I don't know. Okay, so we get all this. They have a bad habit of deleting things. By the way, tampering with evidence, you're going to get hit with that too. Every time you delete something that you have no business deleting. All of you. If you are in my phone illegally, they're going to watch everything you do in it. Get out of it. Hacking and cloning is a felony. Okay? So when you do it to me, we get more. How much money, how many millions of dollars have you spent getting us this intel? Like the conversation, with Amanda. Just lie and say she stole money. File an age discrimination complaint and say Cindy did it. I didn't do it. I never, we've talked about you put pressure on him to do what he did. He took the side of the meth head. Okay? And you pissed everybody off when you did that. It got us a whole lot more intel, right? We got Bencor's name out of that, didn't we? Yeah. Look at your results. Cause and effect. Huntington's disease. You can't do that in your head, right? Simple, impaired cognitive reasoning. A six-year-old could do it, but you can't. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. Okay, so that is a forgery. The EEOC, whatever, if something was actually filled out. I didn't do it. If that's a problem for my boss, I'll be happy to sign an affidavit that says I didn't do this. This is identity theft. And a forgery. The second one, by the way, or the third. You did a power of attorney. You did a marriage license. And now this. Don't fill out another fucking form for me. Don't do it. So the reason I know that before and it wasn't up to you, dumb fuck. Oh, call Mark. She called his client a name. Boo fucking who? We'll get you a tissue. Right? Everybody hates that you would do something like that, and we found out before, not after. Can you understand what I just said? Do you understand words people say, Mr. Perry? We think you don't. Huntington's disease. How do you tie your shoe by yourself? This, let's see. Okay, so the DJ comes to me that night that there's money missing, and the boss is like, hey, everybody just pitch in, and I'm like, we're all like, no. He goes, I can't afford to do that every time money comes up missing. And I went in and I go, you can't do that. It's illegal to do that. And he goes, oh, okay. He didn't know. I said, here's the thing. I'm getting a degree in criminal justice. I'll watch the tape and I'll find out who did it. And so I did. We sat there, Paul and I sat there and watched the video, and we watched the DJ. He didn't do it. Watched me. I didn't do it. I watched her the rest of the night. And then I showed him the one where I said, here's where she overpaid a dancer $20, and then here's the rest of it at the end of the night. She put it in her pocket. She was supposed to take a certain amount out, and she took quite a bit more out than she should have. So here it is. You can see it right on the video. So that got Charles and them all unnerved, because remember, they're trying to push me out. Normally, if you're stealing money, they're going to fire you, right? So they don't want that. They want the waitress to push me out so I don't have a job anymore. Remember, their goal is to traffic me and to starve me until I lie and agree to be coerced into being trafficked. And I said no, and they're caught. And Charles is stupid and doesn't know it yet. Everybody else knows it. He's making a complete ass of himself and has no idea. Not a clue. Can't even fucking understand what you say to him. He's got a severe mental illness and a severe mental impairment. Can't think past tying his shoe. Literally, can't do it. You're caught, you dumb son of a bitch. We've said it over and over and over and over, and everybody's getting very aggravated at you that you can't figure out yet that you're caught. It's a serious crime. It's not a little crime. It's a very, very, very serious crime. What you're doing. I know now. I've not been trafficked yet. How is that? Even your leaks aren't slipping up. You don't know who they are. Get a grip on reality. Get a grip on reality and stop embarrassing yourself and everybody else with you. Golly, I don't even know what to say. I have zero patience for that. When I say something, you better get it the first time. I don't have time to repeat myself. I've never had to repeat myself this much in my life. I've worked in the professional for 20 years. I was in medical. I worked with surgeons and doctors. All my life, I've been in politics. I worked with United States senators, United States congressmen, governors, but mostly federal. Okay? The state guys get on my nerves, have just enough power to get on my nerves. I don't like dealing with state guys. I don't do state legislation. Never did. The only one time I did it is after the thing happened with my parents and the child abuse at, with the sewer and shit. I showed the video of that the other day. Then I had calls from kids that went there that had their lives blown up. And I said, the only thing I can do, I can't make this up to you. What my parents did to you, I can't fix that. I am so sorry. I am so sorry they put you through that. All I can do is talk to CYFD, talk to the governor's office, talk to the legislature in New Mexico to see if there can be some better oversight. Because right now there isn't any. It's a church camp. They get accept the freedom of religion bullshit. Okay, and they're taking advantage of it. So that's what I did in New Mexico. I didn't do legislation anywhere else on the state level. I do federal. You say it one time. And y'all are dumb fucks and you can't keep up with the rest of us. And so when we get this shit, it's not up to you, is it? Any of you. Bald fat Calvin. Who's Oscar? Who's Oscar? See, now we got his name. When you contact me, when you invade my privacy, when you cost me money, that's what happens. And when you cost me time, because I got to say the same fucking thing for you over and over and over, and you still don't get it. And I don't have any patience for that. Everybody's run out of patience for that. I'm not the only one. Everybody's sick of repeating for you. I said no. So fuck off. Fuck the hell off. And we get that you're reading, call Mark and tell him that she called his client a bad name. You blew up lives. You've caused catastrophic loss that we will never get over. And that's the problem, Mark. I'd be careful about that if I were you. I got Oscar's name now. Betancourt. Because your client is antagonizing and forging documents and committing identity theft. And bothering everybody in Oklahoma. And he wasn't invited to Oklahoma. misrepresenting my relationship with him. It's a victim-criminal relationship and nothing more. You're a job for me, Mr. Perry, but you've turned it into a criminal-victim relationship. There's nothing there. There's nothing romantic there at all. It's all in your head. You look like a buffoon. You're making an ass of yourself. You live in a pretend world. It's a make-believe world. You know who else does that? My 7-month-old granddaughter. You got the skill set of a 7-month-old baby. And you'll never do better than that. Your mind is deteriorating. We can all tell. Anybody that talks to you for more than a minute can tell you don't have Tourette's. You got something else. It's Huntington's. There are some symptoms that are the same. Apparently there's some involuntary, movements like you see with Tourette's, with Huntington's, except Huntington's goes further in that it'll fuck up your head, and it has. So he's caught, and he acts like he doesn't know. Yep, everyone else knows. Houston Realtor, I'm not going to help you sell real estate. I'm not going anywhere with you. I think you're as pathetic as Charles. If you have to buy a woman, you're not my kind of guy. If you would allow a woman to get beat down, enslaved and all that, and starved and all that shit, you're not my kind of guy. I won't have a thing to do with you. You make my stomach turn. I haven't even met you. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. We catch you before you do it, not after. We knew Mike Neely was drugged before anybody else said it. First responders had not been deposed yet. What they said is he was dying. He was in respiratory distress and unconscious and dying. So we gave him Narcan. He didn't have a bump on his head. Didn't look like he'd been in a fight or a drunken brawl. Somebody gave him opioids. How'd that happen? Why didn't the jury hear that? Why didn't the jury hear me say we found out before? Anybody else said it? Oh, that's right. You used sworn perjury, right? Concealment of a material fact from the deciding body, like a political vendetta that wasn't. Where's the evidence of a political vendetta, Mr. Perry? Where is it? Where's the evidence that my evidence was collected when I filed the police report, which you have to do by law in Oklahoma where I live? Where's the evidence that evidence was collected, like my blood test, to rule out or confirm arsenic? If you didn't poison me, you'd have made sure there was a blood test to show that. You did poison me, so you made sure there wasn't. Matthew Powell, if you fucking say one more time I was not illegally detained, you're going to have a lot of problems that you'll never get out of. Do you understand me? I'm not kidding. We get that information that you did say that, and it's not up to you, is it? Charles, when you contact me, we get more. Who's Oscar? Who's Bencore? How did we find out about your mall thing? When you contact me, one thing happens. You don't get a date. You don't get information. We do. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. You get rejected and told on. And it's been that way every day for 10 years, Mr. Mental Slow. Yeah, here's something. All right, so we got this. What I said is, on this email that I was sent to Michael. Okay, this is right here, the McNamara email sent in October 2015, Mr. Perry. We got it before you did it, not after. It's detailed and it's specific, isn't it? It says you want to isolate me and keep me from my family. It says you want to arrange a false arrest and smear me. That you want to try to entice and coerce. That's what it says. This was in 2015. See? Okay, so every day since this, we've done the same thing. We quote you. You don't know who your leaks are? This email goes with another email. This was a forward. And that whole thing is about you butting in between me and Fabian, isn't it? Fabian was somebody my friend goes, are you dating anybody? In a private Facebook message. And I said, no, but I like one of the guys that I work with. And I get to work the next day and the whole place blew up. And everybody's nasty to me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Charles has been here. Nobody invited him here, but he's clearly been here. Nobody invited you anywhere I am. Nobody. I moved twice to get away from you. You need to fuck off. You're making an ass of yourself. You look ridiculous. You're rejected. You're alone. You're told on. Get a grip on reality. Sitting there all shriveled up with your doll. Okay, so this is about a personal thing. It's not part of Mr. Perry's legislative duties to go butt into, somebody I might date or am dating or talk to my family behind my back and tell them, don't tell her I was here. Or to go to my work and tell them lie and say she stole money. We want her pushed out of the club so she'll be coerced into being sex trafficked. None of that is legislative duties, is it? So our shrink is like Mr. Perry is unable to identify his legislative duties or what state he legislates in. He's mentally ill and she said, severely mentally retarded. Yeah. You need a nurse, sir. So that would be evidence that it's not political, would it not? And that he did do the false arrest. Okay, so we did all this. This is quotes to y'all. Mr. Perry, he said, I bet you, what I said is, I'm not going to give you the rest of that email, lazy Josh person. You get it yourself. I'm not doing your work for you. Okay? Be a cop and go get it. Call Michael and get it. And he said, I guarantee you Charles had that. Michael Quinn Sullivan forwarded that to him immediately. What's going on here? So he had it. And he didn't take it to Judge Hanson and go, there's a possibility. It's personal, not political. Did ya? When you contact me, Charles, he's still typing in my other phone. When you contact me, we get more. So next time I quote you, it's because you're contacting me right now and I asked you not to. You're contacting me right now and I asked you not to contact me. So when we quote you, that's why. That's what you bought. That's what you bought. You look like a fucking ass. You're embarrassing me. You embarrass everybody. Act like you understand what I'm saying. Okay. He said, I bet you I'd be willing to bet a hell of a lot of money due to Perry's history that Michael Quinn Sullivan sent that immediately to Charles wanting to know what the hell's going on here. What'd you do? And Charles didn't give that to Hanson, did he? And that's evidence that it's personal stalking, not political vendetta. You're not worthy of a political vendetta. You don't matter. You never mattered. You were the new guy. You fucking never mattered. It's 86% Republican. They're going to vote for the conservative guy no matter what. No matter what. There's no issue. Here we are 9 years later. People make fun of you. He still has no issue. 9 years later, that bitch still doesn't have an issue. He can't figure out what to lie about. So, where was the political vendetta that led to a false police report? Where's the investigation that showed the police report was false? Matt, how is that not illegal detainment? You need to fucking stop lying, you guys. You get people mad at you because you insult their intelligence. Don't lie to people smarter than you because they'll know you're lying, and for you, that's everybody. Huntington's disease. I found out you have Huntington's disease because when you contact me and you take my money, we get information. We're quoting you, you're not quoting us. Alright, so this it is right here. We've said it over and over. You gotta repeat yourself for that mental slow guy with his doll. Over and over and over. Oh, call your attorney. She's being mean. You blew up my life. I lost my home more than once. And you think it's poor you. People should feel bad for you. He just contacted me again. So we're gonna get more. That's two. That's two, sir, Mr. Perry. I said don't contact me. Don't peep. Don't hack. Don't contact me. You shouldn't know what I'm doing right now, but since you're hacking, you do, don't you? It's illegal to hack. It's illegal to peep. It's illegal to stalk. It's illegal to sell people. Right? It's illegal to coerce. It's illegal to witness tamper. Right? Come on. Keep up with everybody else. McNamara email. Yeah, we told him, when you invade my privacy, we get more. When you contact me, we get more. When you take my money, we get more, Calvin. And y'all just go every day right back at it like you just can't get away from your vomit. Can't get away from your vomit, Charles. He did it again. That's 3. Okay. So, that's the Fabian puzzle. I got that in jail. You're the butt-in. Just always the wannabe, never the one wanted. Just making an ass of yourself. embarrassing the fuck out of everybody around you. And Fabian and Hope intersect. See, these words are not just in the same book or on the same page. They actually intersect. Sadness and fear. You cause sadness, and over here where it says boo, fear. Boo is a private joke between one of those cops and I, going way back. You're just some little pathetic, selfish butt-in wannabe. Never the one wanted. Just a butt-in. You butt into everything. Stuff that's none of your business. Rejected fail. Every fucking day. We had to add that. Oh, I had to add. There's no fight between my boss and I. When I said, it's illegal. You can't make us pay that. You don't make somebody pay a debt they don't owe. And he was like, oh, okay. I mean, there was no fight. It's like he just acted like he didn't know that. He's from China. Sometimes we have to use Google Translator because he doesn't understand what you're saying. There's a language barrier. So he acted like he just didn't know that you can't just, you were behind the bar, so you're going to pitch in. No. This is America. We have different laws or whatever, so you can't do that. And he was like, oh, okay. But I'll try to find out who did. I promise. I'm getting a criminal justice degree. So let me find your bad guy. Maybe there is no bad guy. It was just a mistake. It might have just been an honest mistake. Let's look. Let's dig deeper. Let's investigate. Yeah. But that didn't fit your narrative because you wanted her to push me out. Because if I'm broke, you think I'll be easier to sell and coerce, right? All of that's criminal. And you're caught when you do it to me. No other victim can say what I can say, right? Why is it different when you do it to me? Why? Why is it different? See, you don't know. You don't know. You have leaks. Even your leaks don't slip up, do they? Everybody hates you that much. All of you. They don't just hate Charles. They hate Charles. They hate Dave. They hate the guy that bought me. They hate Bald Fat Calvin a lot. They hate Lucius. Who the fuck is Oscar? Who the fuck is Renee? Who the fuck is Betancourt? They had a computer scientist going to testify this morning, and they nixed it for some reason. Yeah, okay. See, we find out before, not after. That's what your money bought you. Okay, because you don't have a cover-up, do you? No cover-up, no date, no information, just hold on. All this stuff right here. When you contact me, princess, you feel pretty in that dress you wear? You feel a tough guy beating down women? Men, normal people, have a very big problem with abusive men. You're the kind that gets the fuck beat out of you in jail. Okay? You're not the cool guy, ninja'd some wall and then dropped down the roof and took an art piece worth millions and ninja'd it back. You're not that kind. You're the kind of criminal that gets a shit beat out of you in jail because you're a sex weirdo. And you beat up kids and women. And you repulse even prisoners. They'll beat the hell out of you. Your attorneys, talk about call his attorney. He got beat up again. You're not gonna be worried about all the times I called you a fucktard or something. You have it coming, and then some. Now, beat up is a whole different thing, but getting called a name because you're blowing up everybody's life in Oklahoma where you don't live and were never invited. Oh, poor thing. We'll get you a tissue. Call your attorney. Tell the teacher. You took all my money. I'm sleeping in my car. You put me in jail. You're trying to do it again. You've made it where I can't even see my family. And you think people feel bad for you when I call you a fucktard? You're shitting us with that, right? You're shitting us with that, right? Call Mark. He should call the name, a weirdo or a fucktard. Oh, here's your tissue, Mr. Perry. Call your nurse. You poor thing. Yeah, you're making an ass of yourself is what you're doing. Mark, I'm going to tell the teacher. You got your client's making an ass of himself is what's happening. Because people don't feel so. He did it again. That's the fifth time. That's the fifth time during this podcast Mr. Perry contacted me. Okay? Who's Oscar? Who's Betancourt? Who's Sanjay? Who's Beverly? Who's Lucius? Who's Calvin? Is it cute? Is it cute now? I found out about all this. Right, Mr. Perry? Every time you contact me, we get more. When you invade my privacy, they invade yours. All this, we already have it. You're caught. This is a witness statement. Here's what you do. You've proven him out over and over and over again. He starves these women while he rakes it in using their body against their will and not paying them. So we found, get her to the mall so we can take our car. I'm going to have her car towed and sold, but she won't. It's illegal, but she won't know that until it's too fucking late. Here's the date on that. That was in 2019. Get her to the mall so we can take her car. I'm going to false arrest her. Get her to Texas where we can do more hurt to hurt her. This one got us bald fat Calvin's name right here. We can't get her kicked out for non-payment because of COVID moratorium, so do it for smoking. And that was dated. Look at the date on that. 2/9/2021. Look at the date on that. Cigarette smoke. Just a few days later. Nobody will suspect a thing. And we're all going, that's not fishy. That's not fishy at all. Calvin, who's bald and fat. Okay? When you contact me, when you take my money, when you invade my privacy, when you mess with my family and my job, that's what happens is we get this shit before you do it. Okay? Why is it different when you do it to me, Houston Realtor? It does look like she was displaced intentionally. You're a genius. What gave it away? Yep. How'd you know Mike had to be Hansel and Gretel to Pensacola where we could try to kill him? We know you're a witness. We've got your subpoena right here. We're going to tamper with you anyway. And make inappropriate contact with the witness outside of court anyway. Even though it's illegal. Title 18, United States Code 1512 and 1513 prohibits that. Right? There's state laws that are just the same as RICO. Is there not? Doesn't Oklahoma and Florida and Texas have an anti-witness tampering law? Do they or do they not? You'd ask Mark. Call Mark. If I say fucked hard, is there a law against witness tampering in Florida, Texas, and Oklahoma? Then will he look into it? If I say fucked hard before I say that? It's not legit, but I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures that out. So then you have Lucky here complaining that you called him about stuff that turned out to be nothing, wasted his time, and wanted him to pull me over to get my license plate information to give to you. You're using taxpayer-funded resources for your personal use to stalk and tamper with a witness. He didn't think it was funny. He's busy. Why aren't you? Why are you lazy and boring? Don't you have something to do? Turn off. Big, fat, lazy ass turn off. I don't know what that is. Right now I don't have time. Get her to Texas where we can do more to hurt her. Get her to Texas where we can do more to hurt her. Get her to Texas where we can do... Here we go. Point out for me the marks that on him that looked like he was in a fight. 6 times he contacted me during this podcast after he's been told to stop. Who's Betancourt? Who's Oscar? Who's Beverly? Who's Sanjay? Who's Monique? Where's Monique right now? Go ahead, get us more. You do it all the time, 24/7. So making an ass of yourself. Okay, so we're like, where's the marks on him that look like he was in a drunken brawl? And the other guy was hit so hard, his head back and forth, that he died of internal decapitation, and the medical examiner said it was with such force, it was like he was in a car crash. Can you do that when you're passed out on opioids and dying and in respiratory distress and unconscious, can you? I'd like to meet the guy that can do that. And his attorney goes, oh, he fell on him, and with his magic ass did internal decapitation, strangulation, and blunt force trauma to the head with his ass. Just fell on him, and that happened. His magic ass. And that jury is like, yeah, I don't think that's what happened. So they voted him guilty. You know what the jury didn't hear? They didn't hear me say this. I'll point out the injuries in the arrest report. That it looked like he was in a fight. Any kind of fight. The jury didn't hear me say this. I emailed the Florida State's attorney in January and again in March more emphatically and said he was drugged and he didn't do it. By the way, he wasn't given a tox until it was too late. The Narcan had already compromised his evidence, the blood evidence, kind of like they did with my arsenic. Illegally detained. You say one more time, I was not illegally detained. You will have problems, Mr. Powell, you will never get out of. Sure as shit he was. We gave him Narcan. See? Look at the date on that. It's May. Before, after. Before, after. Before, after. We get the information before. All the money you've spent trying to get your lie bought us intel. Like that. That's pretty fucking cool, isn't it? We think it's great. You see, you must as well, because you keep provoking and instigating and antagonizing. So you must like it too. We've told you, the more you contact me, the more we get. The more you invade my privacy, the more we get. The more you take my money, the more we get. And you guys can't keep your hands out of my wallet. You can't keep going around everywhere. He just did it again. That's seven. That's 7 times. Everybody counting. We're counting. 7 unwanted contacts during this podcast will get us more. So when next time I quote you, for the record, everybody duly noted for the record, Mr. Perry instigated it and provoked and pissed everybody off. Okay? Your leaks aren't even slipping up. And I'm telling Gene Mitchell, you're about to make an argument that is ridiculous. How did we know what his legal argument was going to be before he made it? Oh, we did. And my guys like, contact him and see if you can that doesn't happen. We need you to say this, because this is fact. This is a material fact. I knew before anybody else said it, he was drugged. They said it too, but after I said it. Would you want me to lie about? That I knew he was drugged before, or that it was confirmed after? Huh? You're not all there, are you? Things don't click for you. Normal things go right over your head, don't they? Stupid. Oh, somebody tell Mark I called him stupid. Okay, so this is, that's Bald Fat Calvin again. Alright, so we got all the, here. These are subject lines in emails when I'm quoting you. Typing up something that you said. Ringtone Richard. Gene Mitchell wants to know how she knew his legal argument before he'd even made it. Never asked me that in the depot, though. That's funny. Didn't ask me how did you know my client was drugged in the depot either. I was not going to volunteer that up because I wanted to see if he was on your payroll. And he never asked that question, which confirmed to me he was. And then when we saw him do in court, he confirmed, yeah, he definitely is on your payroll. Okay. Confirm that or deny it based on what you do. Get him out or not. Okay? If you didn't do all that, then you shouldn't have any problem getting him out of jail, right? More that we got before, right? Same thing here. Same thing here. And here's a bunch of names. Bald Fat Calvin, Lucius, Sanjay, Geppetto, Blankenship, Desiree, Monique, Beverly, James, Ruben, Dicky, Richard, Muffin Man. Who's Muffin Man? That's a nickname, by the way. Kate, Lawrence, Andrew, Nesbitt, Oscar, Betancourt. There you go. When you contact me, we get more. How much money did you spend to buy us all this? Because that's all you got. You don't have a real date. I'll never go on a date with you. None of you. Never will I go on a date with you or your weird realtor buyer guy or anybody. Yeah, you don't fit into my crowd. We don't do weird shit like y'all do. Our minds can't even go there. Can't do it. Our minds are just, normal. Be nice to people. Try to make everybody have a good life, not a bad one. And you guys sit around all day and try to drama and make problems and let's make somebody have a shittiest day ever and blow up their life and ruin him and cause catastrophic loss they'll never get over. And everybody else is like, who the fuck does that? What kind of fucking bitch does that? Charles Perry does it, and he doesn't think twice about it. You know what his complaint is? She called me fucknard. She asked if I feel pretty in my dress. Are you trans? Are you? There's nothing wrong with being trans. There's something wrong when the trans is used as crime causation, sir. BTK had a sex weirdo problem. Jeffrey Dahmer had a sex weirdo problem. Ted Bundy had a sex weirdo problem. It's called a sexual homicide is what they did. So their sex problems became causation. So if you're a trans and that's causation for your crime, you're bothering me with that, you're going to have a problem, sir. And I don't owe you an apology. Fuck you. You have a lot of nerve that you would even ask. When you contact me to ask about leaks, boy, everybody gets mad. Wow, he's got a lot of nerve. After what he's done to her, he thinks she'd help him. Wow, what a piece of shit. That he has the nerve to ask. Yeah, that rubs people the wrong way for sure. She'll hunker down. Don't let Ernest give her money. She'll hunker down and won't go to work where we can't do something to hurt her. So somebody said today, even if you guys didn't run off all the customers, he just did about 4 more times. So add 11 to the record that Mr. Perry contacted me 11 times during this podcast after he's been told over and over and over, don't contact her at all. You stop or he's going to do it for you. We got this because you contacted me after you've been told not to. You can't control yourself at all, can you? No, but you're making an ass of yourself and an embarrassment to everybody else in what you do all fucking day long. And you have no idea, do you? Oh, he just did it again. So that's 12. When I start quoting you, that's why right there. Perry has no fucking idea even what I'm saying, does he? Not a clue. You don't know what I'm saying, do you? Not a clue. So, okay, we are going to hurt her somehow when she goes to work. So, we got to make sure she doesn't have any money or she'll hunker down and won't go to work. You guys were recorded talking about it. You know how I got that? When Mr. Perry contacts me or you take my money, we get more. Makes people mad. Normal people. They aren't weirdos like y'all. Our minds can't even go where your minds go. Can't do it. You don't fit into our crowd. We're normal. We're working. We're busy. Why aren't you? There we go. Look at the date on that. Look at the date. Do you see the date? Okay. Note that for the record, that threat's been made repeatedly. There. Look at that. Get her computer. Pull her over. 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 Now there's a list TPD is concealing from the court. I asked for a list, and the guy wouldn't give it to me. And the judge says, well, why don't you go outside and conference with him and find out why he won't give it to you? And I said, oh, hell no. We're going to do this on the record in the courtroom. And he goes, oh, you don't want to go? No, sir, please forgive me, but I'm not comfortable with that. I want his response to be on the record. So the guy comes in and he goes, it's not relevant. And the judge goes, well, I need a brief that explains why you think that. And instead, he gave us a brief that says she can't have a hearing on a motion to dismiss due to insufficient evidence. And everybody's going, wow, where was that argument made? By anybody. That argument was never made by anybody. What I asserted is concealment of material fact from the court that could change the decision. It's a Brady violation. It's unfairly prejudicing me. So I need the list or dismiss my ticket. I shouldn't have been pulled over in the first place because we got about 100 emails of Mr. Perry being recorded talking about having me pulled over. Again and again and again and again and again. So in a very short period of time I need that list. They're concealing it. And now reporters are like, okay, so there's a list. There is a list. If he won't give it to her. And I don't know why the attorney's like, well, I'm going to argue that you can't have a hearing on insufficient evidence and a misdemeanor charge. It's a ticket. It's a traffic ticket. And we're all like, well, that's a great brief, but that's not the grounds for the motion to dismiss. That's not the grounds. That's not even close. It's Brady. It's you're withholding exculpatory evidence. It's prejudicing the defendant unfairly. And you can't do it. It had nothing to do with insufficient evidence. That word's not mentioned anywhere in my brief at all. So where'd you get that? Were you in the same courtroom I was in? What are you doing? Did you read the same brief I wrote? Didn't say insufficient evidence anywhere. So now we got to have a hearing on that. We're waiting on that. That's in August. They're all trying to impede court process again. And that's what they do. These people are criminals. By the way, criminals are stupid, or they wouldn't be criminals. Oh, Mark, she called your client stupid. Call Mark. tell teacher. Look at this. Over and over and over and over. I mean, here we go. He did it. Okay, let's see. That's 4 more times. 16 times now. Charles, 16 times you've made unwanted contact with me, and I told you to stop. So when we quote you like this right here, I'm sitting here showing him. I'm sitting here showing everybody recordings of him that we got when he made unwanted contact or caused me a problem. And he's still going at it while we're showing him. He does that during the day. I'll be like, when you contact me, we get more. So don't contact me. Get the fuck out of my phone. And then we get more. While I'm typing that up, he's still contacting me. And then he wants to, who told, no, I don't think you care. Here's the thing. If you don't like us typing up what you just said, stop contacting me. Get your hands out of my wallet. Go back to your family in Lubbock and leave everybody in Oklahoma alone. Stop causing problems everywhere. It's different when you do it to me. Why is that, Charles? Why? See this right here? Take her car. Take her car. He typed that in my phone all damn day. I'm going to get your car. I'm going to take. I'm going to make you go. I'm going to starve you till you lie. I'm going to make you go. I'm going to make you go. I'm going to take your car. I'm going to take your car. I'm going to make you go. Who told on me? Is it your family? Who's telling on me? Is it your family? Why don't you like me? Why don't you like me? Who's telling on me? I'm going to take your car. I'm going to starve you till you lie. All fucking day. I can't get anything done. Yep. It's awful. It's fucking awful. Harass. And everybody's worried that I called you a fucktard? You think that's the problem everybody's upset about? Is I called you a fucktard for doing that to me? Call your attorney. Tell on me. Tell teacher. Right? So, we got all that. Every time you contact me, we get more. Every time you cause a loss for me, we get more. Every time you invade my privacy, hacking or peeping, peeper creeper, we get more. Okay? It's been that way for 10 years. I mean, there are thousands of these. Thousands of them, Mr. Perry. Thousands.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes. First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
You're disgusting. Alright, this was my correspondence in 2011. 5 years before I could have anticipated Mr. Perry was going to go into court and lie and say there was a political vendetta. 86% Republican. I was always a Republican. All my money went to a Republican except $50 I gave to Tessa Hafen because the Republican was so bad. I supported her, and she was a Democrat. She, though, worked for Harry Reid. Harry Reid was a Mormon, and he was pro-life and pro-gun rights. People saw a different Harry Reid on the news than everybody in Nevada knew him to be. Okay? Everybody knows the news media says stuff and it spins it and whatever. And if you don't know that, you're stupid. The media is going to tell you part of the story their way. One example of that, we were looking at the story on Amanda Knox. She's the girl that was accused of murder in Italy. And the media said that she was doing cartwheels, or the DA or somebody said she was doing cartwheels in the police station waiting for her interview. And they said no, she was not. She did some yoga poses while they were just standing there waiting. Just some very minor yoga poses, not cartwheels. It's very different. Then they crime scene taped off her house, so she didn't have any clothes. She went to the store to buy underwear. She didn't have underwear. They told them they can't come to home. So then the next thing you know, she was doing cartwheels in the police station, and she went on a lingerie shopping spree. Well, the truth is, she did a couple of yoga poses talking to her friends and stretching herself out while she's sitting on her ass waiting. And she had to buy underwear because they taped off her house so she couldn't get her clothes. So sometimes the media presents things different than it really is. I don't know why they do that. They don't all do that. Some of them do that. Some of them don't do that, but they do that. Okay, so all of this is about Mr. Perry creeping up and watching me in my house. Not part of his legislative duties, is it? I kept my mouth shut. These two people were friends of mine from childhood, from New Mexico. One of them lived in Arizona. One of them lived in Florida. So when I'm talking to them, they don't even live in Texas. These are not Texas voters. And I'm telling them the guys are creepy. He's coming up behind my house watching me in my backyard. I may have to move. See? I'm telling his campaign guy, I didn't go to the media with this. I went to you. I didn't hurt him. I'm telling Michael Quinn Sullivan after I left Lubbock and I'm in Dallas and I meet Fabian and Charles starts butting into that. He only found out about it from hacking me. It's not like I called Charles and go, oh, guess what? I met somebody. He hacked me and saw a private Facebook message to my friend who asked me, are you seeing anybody? No, but I like a guy at work. I didn't call, again, he's a married man butting into my business. It's not his business. I moved to get away from him. Then I had to move again. And you've been up in Oklahoma making an ass of yourself. And everybody hates you. So when we get information before, there's no political vendetta here. Did Judge Hanson see this or did you conceal it? You got a bad habit of concealing. So in my traffic court case, all I did is copy and paste from Mike Neely's brief, which was copied and paste from my civil lawsuit. It's the same shit. Your same MO. Yep. It's the same case law. It's the same everything. And my friend, because it's you doing it, right? You called in the pullover. My friend's like, he shows up at a restaurant where you weren't invited, looking for you because I didn't go. And I forgot my phone. The phone is the GPS tracking device, isn't it? I forgot it, and I went out and did some errands. But see, if you didn't have cameras in my house, you'd have thought I was at home. My phone's at home. So why'd you show up at Carino's looking for me? He just did it again. So where are we at now? 20? 20 unwanted contacts while I'm doing this podcast. Oh my God. So when we quote you, you instigated it, and you antagonized, and you're provoking. And the fact that we have to repeat ourselves even makes that even worse. Okay? So, there's that. Also, there's this, real quick. It's the law. You got to file a police report. They knew that. This protective order was denied because I forgot my police report. Reason number two. You must file a complaint against the stalker with law enforcement. I forgot it. They knew this. Then I'm sending that out. That's the McNamara email. Then I'm sending this out on the 4th. Having me false arrested or murdered isn't going to vindicate him from stalking. It's going to prove he is. David, I'm arguing for my life here. There's this. There's the arsenic. Yes, I gave you arsenic. Right? Let your life fade away, he said. I'm not going to promise the stalking will end without death and destruction. Let your life fade away with this weird poem thing here. Creepy. So I filed a police report on the 21st. See? They have me arrested on the 29th for filing a false police report in retaliation for a public servant doing his job as a senator. Anything I've mentioned have anything to do with his job as a legislator? Our shrink is like he can't identify his legislative duties, and he can't identify what state he legislates in. I lived in Oklahoma. You don't legislate in Oklahoma. All right. So is there time to do an investigation here, between here and here? Not really. They didn't get a blood test. Here's when I got a call, the 15th. I need you to get, well, she says, I need you to come in and bring your evidence. I need to look at the text. She needed to get a blood draw to rule out or confirm arsenic. What if it was something else completely? What if it was opioids? Something was making me sick. So sick that I went to the store and I bought charcoal to absorb it. Because they used to put charcoal down your stomach in the hospital. They didn't have Narcan then. They'd put charcoal in your stomach too and pump your stomach if you overdosed on drugs. So I went and bought some. I got that in jail. Who has that kind of power to get that to me in jail? Who has the kind of power, and it wasn't up to you, to get that puzzle to me in jail? Who has that much power? And that's who you piss off when you take my money, when you invade my privacy, when you hack and peep, when you go to my work and cause trouble, when you keep me away from my family, and when you take my money and bother and pester and bother and cause drama and cause problems, and everything's a thing and everything's an ordeal. And the guy said, if you hadn't hacked her DoorDash app and used that to keep her broke, and even if you didn't run her customers off at the club, the thing is you did have 4 guys go into her club. You had David with the arsenic. You had Pinto with the here's $5,000 if you'll sleep with him. You had Mickey James with the maybe it's worth the risk of killing you, so that it even if it looks like Gary Condit and Chandra Levy, maybe it's still worth the risk of that suspicion. And you had Terry Wagner going in on the night his wife dies and shit, and not going in when you needed the money, but he'll go in when his wife dies the same night. So when she finds out you're going to do something to her, or you're typing in her phone, go to work. I'm going to have you arrested. I can't wait to see you. I'm excited to see you. I have a surprise for you. We have a surprise for you. She's not going to go to work, so then you're costing our money, and that's going to make these guys mad. Next thing you know, they're going to get you on everything. Who's Oscar? Who's Betancourt? Who's Sanjay? Who's Bald Fat Calvin? Who's Lucius? Who are those people to you? Who's Monique? Where's she right now? Yeah, you asked for it. But yeah, the problem, Mark, is your client that does all that to me and tries to starve me into a lie and causes me to lose my home and smears me in the news when and has a Michael, kills people, is when he gets called fucktard. Do you consider at all what other people think about what you're doing? And why we can get information and you can't? We're quoting you, you're not quoting us. Okay, then there's the bond conditions. But Lucky's like, these don't look like bond conditions I've seen. This looks like a cover-up agreement. And Matt Powell goes around saying there was no quid pro quo. Say that one more time, Matt, and you're going to have problems you'll never get out of. The same as you guys go around, oh, she wasn't illegally detained. One more time, I dare you to say that, and that this was not a quid pro quo. Do it one more time. I dare you. And then don't complain about what happens when you do, because you asked for it. You asked for it. There's no fucking way Mr. Perry would allow his name to be put in my bond conditions in a sentence that says he is to leave me alone. Unless there was an agreement that he leave me alone. In order to do that, he has to first admit he is stalking me and agree to stop. Okay? He made a commitment that he was going to stop to a judge under oath in court to procure this document right here. And he went to my work, and now there's a false age discrimination complaint that's identity theft. And then there's Amanda steal money and say she did it and bully her out of work. Right? And sleeping in my car, and let's take that car too. Right? Pull her over 20 bazillion times. Right? And you think you can't figure out why you're getting told on? Why you have leaks and we don't? Whatever. This was a breach of contract lawsuit right here, and you had this one dismissed on a phone call. And so Judge Egan never decided whether or not this constituted a contract, and it was binding to you. Because you have and people are mad at you about that too. He goes, first she lost her home and he smeared her name and he went into court and lied about her, and she's illegally detained for 2 months. And then he robbed her of just a normal court proceeding when she's trying to seek remedy. And she's trying to find an attorney and sit there and watches who she's calling, and it tells them don't help her. So she can't find an attorney. So then she studies the law herself and goes into court and does it herself. And then he robbed her of a normal, a hearing and a normal trial. And he can't figure out why people hate him. And he's getting told on all the time. It's not rocket science. What an ass. What an ass. We hate him too. Everybody's sick of you. So, what you mean? You want to piss people off, Mr. Powell? They can get me that in jail. Have at it. You want to piss people off, bald fat Calvin? Taking my money and your DoorDash. Get her to the mall, David. Have at it. What's it done for you so far? How much money have you spent getting us intel? You bought us intel. That's all you bought. You haven't bought another fucking thing. You bought us all this, David. Bought us all that, David. Charles. Who's Oscar? Pull her over, pull her over, pull her over, pull her over constantly. There's a list. So, whatever money you're paying to try to get your lie, bought us that. That's what you got with that money. Nothing else. It's been 10 years of this, Charles. He's probably about done, don't you think? With his investigation. You bought us this. Charles, get him to reality. You bought us this. With that money. When you contact me, we get more. You bought us that. When you contact me, we get more. When you take my money, we get more. Okay? So you want to play games with my funds so that I'm broke. You're going to piss people off that you can't control. Okay? I know you guys are all obsessed with controlling other people. We got all that, Charles. I found out that you called the waitress and said, you take the money and say she did it when she put the money out. Because I was not going to deal with her drama. I'm like, I'm not going to waitress anymore. I'll just dance. Then everybody got mad at you. Well, here's the thing. She could have been out there all this time making money waitressing because the other girl's not injured. She could be out making money on the pole. How dare she put Cindy through all that? Okay? So when we get more, it's because you piss people off in the way you had that girl treat me. Okay? There was no age discrimination complaint. Not by me. There might be identity theft. I'm happy to sign an affidavit, Paul. If they make you guys listen to these fucking podcasts, you shouldn't even know about it. Okay, so who's Oscar? Huh? We got more because you took my money and you bothered me all fucking day. Call Mark. She said the client's a weirdo. Every time we get one of these, we get more, Calvin. Since you hacked my app. Okay, since you're using it illegally. Get her to the mall. Illegally find out where she is. And go there and don't let her see you. Are you going to have me pulled over again? Yeah, that's the big thing today is having Cindy pulled over. And there's a list. Where's the one about get her at the mall? You're using taxpayer funds every time you have me pulled over. That's not your money to burn through, Charles. Talk about abuse of office. I wanted her to go to wanted me to get me at the mall today. And we heard them planning the DoorDash orders. When you take my money, when you contact me, you take my privacy, you fuck with my family. The longer I'm broke, the longer I'm not with my family, and you are, the longer Michael Neely's in jail, the more we get. Okay? Okay, here's the fucking disclaimer, Mark. If you would have let me in court, so, you could have proved me wrong. Look, overcome the evidence. Oh, that's right, you guys can't. There's 5 seasoned attorneys against one girl with no law degree. Not a lick of law school. But I will say, when they ran all my customers off from work, I sat in the back and read law books. So I got it enough that y'all were too scared to face me in court like men. You took Judge Cummings hunting. And he decided to deny everything with no reason, no case precedence, no nothing, no explanation, while you're duck hunting. So this is what cops are supposed to do, TPD. See this connecting the dots? Professional police right there. And that's not what you are. You don't give a police report right to the offender, who then obstructs justice and destroys evidence and purges himself. That's not what you do. They'll tell you how to do it. If you watch this video, they'll tell you how to do it. Okay? It's not like you do it. Yeah, a lot of us end up dead too, by the way. This right here, this use of technology, shows how they illegally use the victim's phones. There's, to track them. It just shows up where I am, like Carino's. Okay, so there's one page. The other page of interest would be this one, where you can access Mickey James's text, Terry Wagner's text, David Robertson's text, all of that. It goes through the 5 points of contact within the state of Oklahoma. And what the suspicion around Justice Scalia. Okay? There's Mickey James. Contact number 3. I mean, there's like a whole bunch of shit here. Mr. Reed, Sheriff Reed, you better know your shit, because I do. And Pinto is here. So the guy's like, even if you didn't run her customers off like she says, you still have enough guys going to where she is to do something, threaten her or something, or harass her or something. This was the recording right here. And there's the solicitation right here. This is the transcripts. Right there. He'll pay $5,000 for sex. So that she just doesn't want to go to work. Or you cause her drama with a waitress. Alright, these are my notes when I'm watching the video. On my own time, I wasn't dancing, I wasn't making any money. Of what all happened, and I wrote it all down. See? Wouldn't normally show this publicly because it's a private matter, really. But when you start messing with my job and my relationship with, and my reputation, then I have no choice but to say, here's evidence, here's what happened, here's my notes on that day. I'm not doing it now. I did it then. It's not an afterthought to explain something away. I'm saying it now. I'm showing you what I wrote down and what I said then. Like Jason Moore's interview. Okay? There's that. There's the notes. I have very detailed notes that I gave the owner. Here's what all happened. This is what's on the video. And here's the time. I wrote down the time. See? See the time? So you can just pull the video and look at it again. There's the time right there that everything happened. Alright? And then you can actually see her take it. You can't. I didn't do the one where she gave the girl $20 too much. I really didn't want to do this one, but to protect myself from Mr. Perry's false bullshit that he shouldn't know anything about, and he wouldn't, except that he is, harassing me at work. Stuck it in her pocket. Okay, so she sticks the money in her pocket. And again, this paper shows what all that was about. She was supposed to take some, but not as much as she took. She took about, I don't know, looked like 100 too much. So, I wrote down every little thing that happened here. On my own time. Didn't get paid for that. Alright. So, and also, they said I set up the business model. Here's the waitress instructions here. We did that during COVID, I believe. Okay. Here's the dancer business model. Right here. Wrote all that up for both the waitress and this. I did that. Wasn't paid for it. Okay? So, that's what the guy said. This is a new girl. She's got a meth habit. She doesn't show up at all. Or she'll be late and leaves early. And she's taking money out of the drawer. And they're having to tell her, try to make it look like Cindy stole. And against somebody who's been there for 8 years, first one to use the credit card machine, because the credit card machine charges the card, puts the money in my account, and then I got to give it to the boss, which I have. He knows that. He had to trust me to let me do that. And I wrote all that up on my own time. Sat there and watched 8 hours of video on my own time. Wrote down every little thing that happened. Now, I don't like having to put this out to the public, but you kind of left me with no choice. There's been no age discrimination, allegations made against Paul or his kids at Sensations or anything. None. Not by me. If you forged a document, then you need to, I can certainly sign an affidavit for Paul saying it's identity theft. I didn't do that. Or you withdraw that. Or whatever it is I don't know what the hell you've done. Fix it. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, that's 22 times now during this podcast. We get more. He said, and I've said, don't contact me. Okay? When in March 2020, when you were offering me a bribe and a threat and all that stuff, and you still do, I've got a house for you in Houston. I got a house for you in Houston. Who's telling on me? I'm gonna take your car. Oh my God, wow. No. What he said is, you're gonna give back what you took. You're gonna fix what you broke. And get the fuck out of her life. Her privacy is not to be invaded anymore. You don't contact her or her family again. And get out of her wallet. You do it or we'll do it. That's your choice, Mr. Perry. Through the normal legal process, you do it or they'll do it. They'll do it for you. Just like that. When we quote you, that's pretty much that's part of the process. We are quoting you, you're not quoting them. You don't have no one's name. None of those guys' names. Do you? Your leaks are not even slipping up. I'm not slipping up. 6 years in a strip club, not one slip up. So you don't know who they are. Nobody will help you with that. You're guessing at it. Is it NYPD? Is it China? Is it Russia? Who's telling on me? Is it LAPD? Is it Roswell PD? Who's telling on me? The thing is you're giving them something to tell. You're giving them something to tell. Everybody's sick of y'all. All of you. Just sick of y'all. We can't wait till you're in jail and we don't have to deal with this anymore. Okay, so basically what they said is they're not going to take the new girl who's a meth addict, never shows up, or she's coming in late and leaving early and taking money from the drawer. They got to make her frame Cindy to make Cindy look bad. So Cindy doesn't changes her habits and doesn't put money in the drawer anymore. You do it yourself. Here's the bag. When I'm speaking third person, I'm quoting somebody else, by the way. So Paul took her side on an issue where she was going to be gone, and I wanted to work that night. I would have been glad to make the money. I didn't steal anything. I had $4,000 sitting in my account from a student loan, so I didn't need to steal. Because I had $4,000 sitting in my account. I was in a knee injury, and I wasn't able to dance with a knee injury. I decided to go get a hotel. So I had called about 4:00 in the afternoon, made reservations for the hotel, had made arrangements for someone to come pick me up. While I'm waiting to be picked up, Amanda comes in and you stole money, and let's look at the cameras and call Paul. She did that every 5 minutes over something. I was like, oh my God. I go, yep, nope. Didn't open the bag. Didn't even open the bag. Oh, you didn't open that? No, because we heard you guys talking about stealing money and blame me for it. I don't have time for that. Drama queen. So she ran back in, talks to there's two DJs. There's a new one and an old one. The new one was the one that said, I'm not going to put money pitch in every time she steals money. Or there's a mistake made. I'm not doing it. I don't have that kind of money. I said, me either. He goes, I'll be working for free. I said, you don't have to. It's illegal to collect a debt that's not owed. I'll just explain that to the owner. Don't worry about it. I got it. Don't worry about it. Sadie comes running. She's going to call the police. Oh my God. I go in there. Nobody said anything about calling police. You got to Stop with the 3-year-old fit throwing thing you're doing, girl. We're grown women. Mr. Perry just contacted me for the 23rd time during this podcast. 24. When we quote you, that's why. Okay? Don't fucking contact me, you sick son of a bitch. I fucking hate your guts. I hate your contact. You make me want to vomit. Don't fucking contact me. Don't invade my privacy. Get off me, rapist. So, I'm like, no, I'm sorry, but you're fucked. It's just a bag. I just put the bag on the counter. You put it in the drawer. Oh, she goes running back in, comes back. Oh, the DJ had it. The DJ had it, huh? So he's in on it too, huh? Yeah, okay. Duly noted for the record. So I already had plans to leave because I had $4,000 sitting in my checking account. And I have an injury. I can't dance. And nobody was coming in. It was pouring rain. 24 times Mr. Perry has contacted me during this podcast. So what I did is, you know what he just typed in my phone? Is it the DJ? Tell it on me. Is the DJ? Tell it on me. I'm gonna take your car. Is the DJ? Tell it on me. Wow. I'm not told who your leaks are. I wouldn't help you if I was. We all want for you to be gone. You're not gonna get help. How many times do I have to repeat that? Write it down. Get a nurse. Stupid. So, I left, and that didn't work out. So, he's not going to take the side of her over me without pressure externally. It didn't make sense for his business to do that. It's not his, it just isn't who he is. He's not going to do that. And somebody said that. What happened didn't even make sense for the owner. There's no way Charles didn't pressure him. There's no way. So age discrimination wasn't discussed, was it? It might have been a snarky comment, but it wasn't discussed as the causation. You're the causation. It's been discussed. You caused it. We heard you talking on the phone to them. We heard you telling them what to do, and then they did it. I was expecting it, which is exactly why I did not set the money up. I put the bag on the counter and made her do it, since she was going to accuse me of taking it when the money was set up. I already knew when she was going to make the accusation, how, what, when, where. When you contact me, we get how, what, when, what details. Details, specifics. It's not vague, he's going to hurt you. It's very detailed, specific information because everybody's sick and tired of you. And you're like, this guy, you sound...
Don't stop. This make you...
How do you feel when someone does to you what you're doing to me? Putting a camera in your face. And I'm going to take your car. I have pictures of you. Want me to get him? I'm stalking you. I got pictures of you. Perry has pictures of me to try to show he's not stalking me. In Oklahoma. Go home to your family, you stupid little bitch. You're alone, shriveled up, all by yourself, rejected and told on, and rejected and told on, day after day after day after day. Everybody's sick of you. Everything's a thing. Everything's an ordeal. Everything's a problem. Everything's a drama. And everybody's sick of that. So we are quoting you. You're not quoting us. We're naming your people. You don't have even one name of any of our guys. Even your leaks don't slip up. 6 years in a strip club, not one slip up. No one's slipping up. There's a high level of dedication and commitment to being rid of you. We're all sick of you. Okay? Don't contact me. Don't take my money. Don't contact me, anybody I know. Get off your ass and go be normal and go home to your family. And act like you understand what people say. Because you act like you don't.
Feel? You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this make you
Is that
feel?
the one that put all those scratches on your arm? You want to see the
Scratches?
Completely missed what she just said. Didn't understand a word she just said. Missed the point completely.
You want,
I got got
I
scratches.
can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of there.
Monkey, hit the road. Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're
I
gonna
don't
get
give a
it
fuck.
good.
You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're
You
gonna
can
find
bring
Is that
the
a
whole fucking
threat?
army.
You're gonna
I don't give
find
a
out.
fuck.
This make you feel.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna take your car. I'm gonna get you. Is it your mom telling on me? Is it the DJ? Is it your family? I'm gonna get your car. I'm gonna get you. Wow. Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
This make you feel. You're filming my. I
What
don't.
about- That's okay. I don't care.
Leave
You
me
can
alone.
all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to, but even when they're not. Unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.